This information was brought to you by the Silph Road, a grassroots network for Pokemon Go trainers. Click on the annotation to learn more. Alright guys, so the Pokemon Go beta just had a major update, and I'm just going to be going through some of the information that people on the Silph Road subreddit found through the data mine. So let's just get into it. So the first thing that was found in this new update were some small UI tweaks, and those included having the ability to sort Pokemon by Pokedex number, name, CP, or health. But then it also brought some other major UI stuff that we're just going to go over right now. So the first thing that we found out is that cooldowns are going to be a part of Pokemon Go. So for those of you guys who don't know, cooldowns basically make you wait a certain amount of time before you can do that same action again. And in the Pokemon Go's case, it is Pokestop cooldowns. So Pokestops now turn purple once you use them, and they gradually go back to their original color, which is blue, after around 5 minutes. So that means you can abuse Pokestops to get a bunch of items. There is going to be a cooldown period for them. So another thing that we found was that there's going to be a new award, which is called the Big Magikarp Medal, and you can get a bronze, silver, or gold level for this award. The people who went through the data mine still have no idea what it could mean, but that's there. So it's called the Big Magikarp Medal. It'll obviously have something to do with Magikarp, but we have no idea yet. So that's number 2. So now this next thing is pretty big. We finally have stores within Pokemon Go. So now whenever you're on your map screen, you'll have another button at the bottom of the screen, and it'll look like a little store icon button. So you click on that and then you get into the store, and basically it allows you to buy Pokeballs, different items, and stuff like that for Pokecoins. So the store is going to be selling a lot of different upgrades and items, and we actually got some information through the data mine of what those things could be. So one of them is the inventory upgrade, which basically allows you to store more Pokemon than what you normally could. And then there's also a storage upgrade for adding more items than you normally could as well. And then there's also something called incense, which will probably allow you to attract Pokemon, more Pokemon near you, so you have an easier chance of finding new Pokemon and also catching them. And then we also have something called incubator, which gives you a boost in terms of egg catching. So it'll probably make it easier by giving you less of a distance in terms of walking, because as we all know right now, it's 1 kilometer in order to hatch an egg. So there's also something called XP boost lucky egg, which apparently might give you more XP while you're holding onto an egg. It's not confirmed yet, but that's most likely what it is, just because of the name of it. And then there's also something called Pokestop disc, which the people over at the Silph Road have theorized that it could possibly reduce cooldown rates for the Pokestops like we talked earlier, but again, we don't know for sure, but that's another item you can get at the store. So now that we finally have a store, you're probably wondering how are in-app purchases going to be part of Pokemon Go, and unfortunately, because this is a beta, it doesn't look like Niantic is going to be implementing in-app purchases. However, there have been some changes to the code that would hint at in-app purchases being implemented shortly in the near future. So there is going to be in-app purchases, but they just don't seem to be in the beta, because obviously once the beta is over, everything's going to be wiped, and it would be a lot of waste in terms of money for the beta testers if they were to buy a bunch of stuff with their own money. So we're not going to see that till the full release. So other than in-app purchases, there's also going to be in-game currency, and it's called Pokecoins, and the way apparently you collect them is just like XM in Ingress, and in Ingress, XM is just all over the map, so you just go over, walk around and stuff, and you start collecting it. So it's probably going to be implemented in the same way, but it's not clear yet. We still need a lot more to learn how it'll be implemented, but based on the data mine, that's what it seems like it's going to be like. On top of this, you'll be able to have daily coin upgrades just by opening the app, just similar to other games where you just open the app and they give you like a bonus in terms of coins, so you'll also be able to collect them in that way too. So this beta also brought about some battle tweaks, and one of the things is that instead of just having a max of 2 stamina bars during combat, during gym battles and stuff like that, some Pokemon actually have more than that, and the way you tell is you go into the Pokemon's detail screen and it'll let you know how many stamina bars it has. And this is actually cool because it allows you to do your special / charge moves a lot more often, and you won't have to worry about just your quick attacks, because some of the gameplay we've seen so far, people have just been spamming the quick attacks because their stamina just seems to run out really fast. So this seems to be a way to combat that. And then there was also a little like bug before this update where the CPU Pokemon during the gym battle would just start attacking you before you actually fully loaded onto the screen. But that seems to be fixed now, because both Pokemon have to be loaded before you can start attacking, so that's also cool. And probably the biggest news that the Silph Road helped get through the data mine is the fact that Pokemon Go Plus devices are still a go. We haven't seen a lot of information on them, but they have showed up in the data mine, and we finally know what the wrist device will actually do, so let's just get into that. So the first thing is the notification section. So there's a bunch of different notifications you can get when you have this Pokemon Go watch connected to your phone. So these notifications include reached Pokestop, spawned Pokemon, spawned uncaught Pokemon, spawned legendary Pokemon, ready to throw Pokeball, Pokeball Shake and broken, and Pokeball Shake and caught. So those are the different notifications you're going to get during your in-game experience on your Pokemon Go Plus watch. I'm guessing they're going to have different colors because these are a lot of different notifications, and if you just had one color, you'd basically have to go back into the app itself just to see what it was, which would defeat the purpose of the device in the first place. So besides the notification aspect of the Pokemon Go Plus watches, you can also do actions through them as well. And so far there are only 3 actions you can do, although that could be updated during the full release. But so far you can hack a Pokestop, enter an encounter, so basically go to a Pokemon and try to catch it, and then also throw a Pokeball all on that watch. So that's basically everything we got in this new data mine. One thing we still are waiting for is the trading aspect, but it does seem like Pokemon Go is coming along nicely, and hopefully we see a full release soon. So I think the final thing we're really waiting on is trading, and then after that is just tweaking from Niantic's side before it is ready for full release, and then hopefully we get it. So yeah guys, that was all the information from the data mine. A special thanks to Dromps and his crew on the Silph Road subreddit for providing this information, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys are into Pokemon Go and gaming news in general, please consider giving me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright guys, thanks. Bye.